For this lesson, we're going to talk about how to type punctuation on a keyboard and in a document. Now, sometimes the keys are easy to find, but other times it's a bit tricky as we're going to be using that shift key we used in the last lesson to type some of our punctuation. So go ahead, open that follow along document with me and move the page over so that way you can watch the video as we go through it. Now I'm first going to demonstrate typing punctuation and then we'll work on the page. So let's go ahead and do that. So now we're going to look at how we type punctuation. Now there are a few simple keys that we can use. Let's zoom over here. We have our key with the period on the bottom, and that'll be our period. We have a key with the comma on the bottom, and that'll give us our comma. Now, do you notice how the question mark on this key is above the slash on the top? And do you notice over here with the 1, we have our exclamation mark on the top. In order to get on any of those keys that have something above something else, we're going to use the shift key. So to type a question mark, we're going to hold down the shift key and press the question mark. To type an exclamation mark, we're going to do the shift key and the 1 with the exclamation mark on it. Okay, so now we're on to our practice. You've pulled this page up, you've watched how we type punctuation and you found those keys. Now we're going to actually type some punctuation. So we're going to do a string of periods with spaces in between. So remember that period key, you do not need to use the shift. So go ahead, find that key and press it once, spacebar, once, spacebar, third time, spacebar, fourth time, spacebar, fifth time, spacebar. Remember, you can pause the video at any time if you need to catch up. Okay, now we're going to move on to commas. Commas are right next to our period key. So let's do comma, space, comma, space, comma, space, comma, space. One last time, comma, space. All right, now to move on to our question mark. So put your cursor there, press the space bar. Now we're going to look at our question mark. Go ahead and find the question mark. It's right on the other side of the period, but we do need the shift key. So we're going to hold down the shift key, question mark, space bar, shift, question mark, space, shift, question mark, space, shift, question mark, space, shift, question mark, space. And the same thing goes with our exclamation marks. So put the cursor there, press the space bar, shift, exclamation mark, which is above the one, which is where the 1 key is, space, shift, exclamation mark, space, shift, exclamation mark, space, shift, exclamation mark, space, shift, exclamation mark, space. Good. Now we have one more. This is a little tricky one. Let's see if you can do it. So period, comma, exclamation mark, and question mark. Ooh, did you notice how this looks different? Let's go ahead, back that up a tad. See if you caught on. We need to put spaces between those. So period, space, comma, space, exclamation mark, space, question mark, space, period, period, space, comma, space, exclamation mark, space, question mark, space. Okay? And let's do one more of these, or 2 more of these, this time without the period. Comma, exclamation mark, space, exclamation mark, space, question mark, space, comma, space, exclamation mark, space, question mark, space. Now here's the deal. When we're talking about punctuation, we're normally going to not just type a string of punctuation like we just did. Instead, we're going to type it as if we're using it in a sentence. So let's go ahead and practice. Now remember how we did capital letters. We're going to hold down that shift key. So shift capital D, I-D space, Y-O-U space, L-I-K-E space, T-H-E space, M-O-V-I-E question mark. Did you like the movie? Alrighty, now let's try this next one. Yikes. Short sentence, but it works. Capital Y with that shift key, I-K-E-S exclamation mark. Make sure you use that shift key. Now the last one, I like candy, pop, and ice cream. So let's try this one. Capital I space L-I-K-E space C-A-N-D-Y comma, then space, P-O-P, comma, then space, A-N-D-I-C-E-C-R-E-A-M, period. Alrighty, now my dears, if you got lost at any point, remember, pause the video and catch up. When you're at this point, go ahead, press the next key, and you're ready to move on to your practice session. I'll see you real soon.